So I gave him a little piece of my mind, called him a few names. I was pissed. Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Larry here. Good to see y'all. It is August 4th, 8 p.m. and I'm in the midst of my 30-day water fast. I haven't had any food so far. I'm holding strong, but my first couple days I spent in bed in the dark, and I'm going to tell you what happened. Also, Cassie's doing great on her bbbe challenge. She's actually out in the living room right now eating a flank steak. So yeah, I thought this would be a good time. Get out of there so I don't have to watch her eat. Come in here, sit down, give you guys an update. On July 31st, Cassie and I put out a couple of YouTube shorts highlighting our final meal before I started my fast and before she started the bbbe challenge. She made some awesome crab legs and a ton of chicken wings, and we really enjoyed that. A lot of people noticed and commented on that short my eye. It looked like I had lazy eye. What it was the beginning of pink eye. I've had pink eye probably 5 or 6 times in the last 7 years, and it all has to do with my CPAP machine, but I'll explain that in a minute. Yeah, my first 3 days of this challenge weren't pleasant at all. I actually almost just said forget it, and I almost ate some food just because I was going through some things, but I held strong and I didn't. And I had the worst experience with a telehealth doctor. I'm gonna give you my review here in this video. I wasn't too happy, but first I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Elements. Elements, a delicious electrolyte drink mix that comes in these convenient single serving packets. Whether you're on a carnivore diet or the ketogenic diet, it is extremely important to keep up with your daily electrolytes, especially if you're going to be fasting for 30 days. No matter what low carb diet you're on, Elements got you covered. Each packet contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Let me tell you, gang, if we don't keep up with our daily electrolytes, Cassie and I suffer from fatigue, headaches, and definitely leg cramps. And Element has a ton of great flavors. Cassie will be using the grapefruit salt, which we call carnivore lemonade, during the challenge this month. And I ordered 2 boxes of the raw unflavored. I'll be taking 2 packets of these a day, and this is all I'm consuming this month. The last time I did a 14-day fast, Element kept me hydrated and feeling great. When Cass and I first started carnivore, she was like, we can only have water. Element changed all that, because with all their great flavors, it definitely added a new dimension to our carnivore diet. As always, Element's offering our viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 free single serving packets with any Element order. This is the perfect way for you guys to try 8 of Element's delicious flavors before your next order. You can have Element delivered right to your home using our link below at drinkelement.com/carnivore quest. There's no better way to get the quality electrolytes you need and support our channel at the same time. So head on down to drinkelement.com/carnivore quest and get yours today. And don't forget to check out the new Element Sparkling, an amazing electrolyte sparkling water that comes in these 16-ounce cans. If you use our link below to pick up some Element Sparkling, you will receive the free sample pack of the drink mix. Thanks again, Element, for sponsoring today's video. So my 30-day fast definitely didn't start on a good note, getting that pink eye. And I've almost recovered from it now. It's pretty much gone. No thanks to the doctor I spoke to on the telephone, which I'm going to tell you about right now. He pretty much ripped me off, and he is a scumbag, and I told him so. I woke up at July 31st, and I knew it was coming on. I've had pink eye like 5 or 6 times in the last like 7 years, and it's from my CPAP machine. I actually just ordered a new mask right here. Let me open this sucker up and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll have to put the straps on tonight. But when my mask, gets like 3 or 4 months old, it starts getting like weak here. And so when I gotta take my hat off. The seal right here will start getting weak and it'll leak air into my eye. And it's brutal. If I catch it, like I'll wake up sometimes at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I can tell it's been happening. It's my eyes drying out. I can take a warm washcloth. I'll get up out of bed, be in the bathroom with the light on. Cassie be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, my eye's messed up again. And I'll take that warm washcloth and just hold it on my eye for, maybe 2-3 minutes. And then I'll put more hot water on it, rinse it out. And I'll keep doing that for like a half hour. And if I catch it in time, it'll take care of it. It'll get rid of it. But if I happen to sleep through the night with that air blowing on my eye, completely dries it out. And the very first time I ever saw a doctor for it, she told me that, when your eye dries out, it's a perfect breeding ground for a bacterial infection, pink eye, or also known as conjunctivitis. And I know immediately when it happens that I'm in trouble and I'm going to have to go get some antibiotic drops. It feels like you have sand in your eye. For those of you who've had pink eye before, I get it really bad if I let it go. And on that short we put out, I had been trying the hot compress all day long on July 31st. And I knew on August 1st, I'd have to see a doctor. It wasn't working. And, kind of, gets out of control and runs wild. And it gets to the point, like when I woke up on August 1st, I couldn't even go outside. My eye was blood red, but it gets really sensitive to light, especially sunlight, bright sunlight. And even so much so, my other eye is sensitive to sunlight. So I basically got to keep my eyes closed and stay in the dark. So the morning of August 1st, I knew I was going to have to see the doctor. And Cassie went to work at 1 p.m. and there's no way I could drive. It's pretty miserable. For those of you who've had it, let me know down in the comments if you've had pink eye. It sucks. Cassie suggested, why don't you use our Telehealth? It's the first time we've ever had it with our insurance that we have currently. And I've heard good things about it from my daughter Ashley, who's out in Colorado. She swears by it, uses it all the time. So I'm like, okay, that way we don't have to go to the walk-in clinic. I can use the teledoctor and, they can just call in the prescription to our local CVS and, go get it. Well, Cassie spent an hour registering for it. And, she had to be at work, I think in like, 2-3 hours when I made the phone call to the doctor. So I get on the phone with him and he asked me what my symptoms were. I told him, my eyes really painful, bloodshot red. And I told him I've had this, multiple times. I pretty much know what it is. And I need some antibiotic drops for my eye. And as soon as I suggested that I knew what it was, he got this condescending attitude. And it really pisses me off even thinking about it, because it was $50 to call this joker, and I was on the phone with him a total of 3 minutes. And what he basically told me was he felt from my symptoms that I had scratched my cornea and I need to go in and see somebody. And I was like, well, no, I've had this before. I told him about the CPAP machine leaking air into my eye, and he wouldn't have anything to do with it. So I said to him, I said, so I basically just wasted $50 talking to you for 3 minutes, and you're not going to call in this prescription? He says, sorry, I wouldn't feel right doing that. It's not like I was asking for Vicodin or, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking for antibiotic drops. So I gave him a little piece of my mind, called him a few names. I was pissed. $50 is a lot of money, and I expected him to call it in and it wouldn't be a problem. Why else would you use telehealth? You know what I mean? He can't sit there and take a look at me. So, he's got to go by your word somewhat, right? Well, anyway, he told me like your vision becomes blurry. You get like, imagine, you have like milk on your eye. I couldn't see it all in this eye. It was completely blurry. He told me that wasn't a symptom of pink eye. And I knew then the guy was a blowhard. And so Cassie ended up having to go into work late, and she drove me to the clinic, and it was a walk-in clinic. She dropped me off and she ended up going to Walmart for something, but they got me right in because they weren't busy, thank goodness. And I talked to the doctor in there, and yep, you got pink eye. He prescribed me some antibiotic drops. Here they are right here. Oh, he's a lifesaver. And I told him about the teledoctor, and he said there's no reason in the world he shouldn't have prescribed me these drops. He said even if he thought you had a scratched cornea, he could still prescribe these to you and tell you if, they didn't work, you know, go see a doctor and see what's going on with it. So total jerk. I feel like he ripped me out for $50, and the walk-in clinic was $75, and then this was like I think $16, for the drops with our insurance. So an expensive day, and when you know what's going on and you know what it's going to lead to, because I've read that pink eye clears itself up in 2 to 3 weeks, but you go through hell, and I've never let it go that long because it's so painful and you're just so miserable. You really can't function. I mean, there's no way I could work, or you can't open your eye, Sometimes you can't even open both eyes, but that doctor I saw in the clinic said that's absolutely ridiculous that he didn't give you those drops. So I've sent out a few emails and trying to get my $50 back. We'll see if I'm successful. I doubt it though. But that guy, he was so condescending and like that better than me attitude, and it was like it turned on as soon as I suggested what my problem was. Well, man, I've had it 5 or 6 times. I know exactly what it was. I knew exactly what caused it. And yeah, yes, Cassie, I was pissed. I was pretty fired up. $50 is a lot of money. And, I just felt like he reached into my pocket and stole it from me. I will never use telehealth again unless I'm in some extreme situation where I have to. But let me know in the comments, you guys, if your experiences with telehealth, because like I told you, my daughter, she swears by it. She loves it, uses it all the time. But maybe it's different in Colorado. I don't know. Here in South Carolina, I won't waste my money again. That's for sure. But so my first couple days of this challenge, once I got my antibiotic drops, Cassie ended up being late to work that day, a couple hours. I got home, put the drops in, and I took a warm washcloth, put it on my eye, and I just laid down. And I pretty much spent the day and a half in my bedroom, with the shades drawn, keep it really dark in there. And, that stuff worked its magic. I mean, it's feeling better already. And, I'll probably keep using these drops. It's a pretty big bottle until I'll use about half the bottle, and I'm going to hold on to the rest. You know what I mean? They say you should finish them. You should finish them, all your antibiotics. But I've actually never had a bottle this big. So I'm just going to save half of them in case it happens again. Because with that CPAP mask, it's very possible. But I got a new mask, so I should be good for a while. But ever since I grew my beard, I have the seal on my CPAP mask isn't as good. And then also I don't have my teeth in at night. And I take my dentures out, put them in water solution. The CPAP mask rests right where your teeth are. You know what I mean? And with my teeth out, there's nothing, for it to sit on. So I really have to like tighten my straps up really tight. That's why a lot of times I got this indentation from this thing right here because I have to keep it on so tight, But yeah, I cannot wait till I get rid of this thing, get down to my goal weight. Because doctors told me a long time ago my sleep apnea is just from being overweight. I have no structural issues, so I cannot wait to get rid of this. I'm thankful for it, but I can't wait to get rid of it. I really was miserable, and I really thought about just saying, screw the challenge. I'm not going to fast for 30 days. And, I'm thankful I got through it. It did cross my mind, just maybe do it next month, try and get rid of my tinnitus. But somehow, some way I got through it. And, the first, 4 or 5 days of my fast, I don't cook for Cassie at all. She takes care of it. But starting on like day 6, 7, I'll be able to cook for her. And, those first 4 to 5 days are pretty tough, man. And, I was actually looking through my journal from when I fasted the 14 days last year in February. And yeah, there's some things that are coming up that I forgot about. One of them is insomnia. You get incredibly crazy insomnia around day 10 and 11. I did. I mean, my mind would be racing at night. It's pretty crazy. So I got that coming up. And yeah, at different times, the hunger will come in. And I haven't even had the most extreme hunger yet. That hit me around day 11, day 12. And yeah, it was brutal. So I got that coming up, and we'll see if I can make it to 30 days. Our last video when we announced the challenge, I really didn't know how you guys were going to respond, but as always, you guys, rooting me on. And a couple of you are even going to do the 30-day fast. Some of you are suffering with tinnitus too, and thought you'd give it a shot after hearing, about the emails I received from people who had gotten some relief for their tinnitus, by doing a 21-day fast, 30-day fast, and even a 40-day fast. And if you saw that previous video, that's what made me, consider doing it, and the challenge of it too. Not a lot of people can say they've gone 30 days with no food. It's quite a long time, but I remember when I did the 14-day fast. On day 14, I wasn't hungry at all, but man, I missed eating. I missed the ritual of it, cooking up a steak, sitting down with Cassie and little Larry, sitting down with the family, having a meal. I missed all that. And that's where it really became, a mental struggle. Yeah, it was just missing eating. But I had no hunger at all. Now, from different videos I've watched of people who've done 30, 40-day fasts, you will get, the hunger will return, like say on day 18, it'll come back for a couple days. But if you fight through it, then boom, it completely disappears for 4 or 5 days again. So, this isn't going to be easy. And I got to tell you, too, the main thing I've missed, which is crazy, but I know a lot of you can relate to it, is cream and coffee. I'm really struggling with the cream and coffee. When those first couple days when I was hurting, I almost said to Cassie, will you bring me home, a Starbucks latte? And I didn't though. But I was fighting it. I think I got addicted to those things. And yeah, I was definitely battling there. But I got, like right now it's like 8:30 at night, day 4, and I'm just so thankful my eye is better. We take our eyesight for granted. We all do. But man, something comes, you get a problem with it, and along with all the pain you go through with pink eye, and I'm just so thankful for those drops. And even if we didn't have health insurance, which I've actually had to go to the doctor, get drops like that when we didn't have health insurance. I think I did twice. And you'll pay the money, you know what I mean, to get some relief. Because yeah, it works like magic. I told you guys I wanted to keep busy this month, get out a lot of content. I don't know when this will come out, tomorrow on the 5th or maybe on the 6th. But I had the pink eye, and that kind of knocked me out of commission. But there's not really a lot to report on the first 3 or 4 days of a fast. A lot of us have done 72-hour fasts, and it's when you get into the uncharted territory, when you reach day 10, day 14, that's, I think, when it's fun to report to you guys what I'm going through. But I got some things lined up. Even the intentional carnivore, Sean White, talked to him the other day, and I'd asked him if he'd like to come on for an interview because he's been missing in action for quite a while now. I know he gained over 100 pounds back. I'd like to hear where he's at now. We haven't talked about his weight in a couple weeks, so but he told me he's back on track, and it'd be good to have him back on the channel for an interview, and it's gonna be cool. So Cassie's doing great on her bbbe challenge. All the comments, everybody doing it with her. It's very, very inspiring for me too. I even had some people in our Facebook group say, I'm already sick of the bacon, but I think of Larry, he's not eating it all. So I'm just going to keep pushing forward. And that's really cool because I actually didn't want anybody to do the challenge with me, a 30-day fast without doctor supervision. I didn't want anybody to hurt themselves. I just wanted to inspire you to do the bbbe challenge. And if you hit the wall of doom, push through it, maybe with a 2-day fast, and think about poor Larry not eating anything for 30 days. And I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to make it, guys, but I'm going to try. I'm going to give it my all. And I think by the end of that 30 days, I'll have broken that, that coffee latte addiction that I developed over the last couple of months. I was never a latte person, ever. That was Cassie's thing. But man, that addictive personality kicks in, and you're drinking 1,000 calories a drink. It's not a good thing. Not good for you, right? Anyway, I really appreciate you guys stopping by for a few minutes, checking in on me, and hearing me rant about the biggest jerk that ever went to medical school. Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely going to keep sending emails, and I already gave him a pretty scathing review, but I want my $50 back. Anyway, guys, again, thanks for stopping by. I love y'all. We'll see you in the next one. Remember, no sugar, no carbs, no cheating, and no eating for me. Later.